there, I'm Kendall McGuire, professional actress, and today I'll be speaking about the differences between Renaissance theater and modern theater. Well, there's quite a few differences. Obviously, time over change begins to affect theater. But one of the most important differences is that in Renaissance theater, there were no female actors or actresses, okay? All of the female parts were played by men, okay? It was inappropriate to have women in the theater back in that day. And actually, over the years, theater for women and people in general has kind of become a controversial issue. So back in the time, let's say we had Romeo and Juliet, which would of course be one of the most famous Renaissance plays. Shakespeare was the most famous playwright back then. You would have Romeo, of course, played by a man, and then you would have Juliet, also played by a man. Now, the man that would play Juliet would be a man that was maybe a little more feminine in nature, maybe a man that was a little bit more frail in frame and body type, and maybe that could really emulate that higher pitched voice, you know, oh, Romeo, Romeo, so it was sort of strange in that sense. Also in Renaissance theater, a very common practice would be what is known as cue acting. Okay, so in Renaissance theater, they would oftentimes, the lines would not be memorized, but there would be a person in the back of the theater going, "Wherefore art thou, Romeo?" And then the actor would say, "Wherefore art thou, Romeo?" You know, and so they would be giving them their cues as the show went on. And this enabled the actors to sort of pick up show and be ready for a show without the work, time, and effort of memorizing their lines. So those are a few differences. Of course, there are similarities in that, both in modern theater and in Renaissance theater. There can be very simplistic settings and backdrop that is based strictly on the acting and not on the pyro and effects and fancy costumes. But those are a few of the differences between Renaissance theater and modern theater. I'm Kendall McGuire.